The rain taps softly against the window, a gentle rhythm that fills the room with a hush. I'm sitting here in my cozy bedroom, wrapped in a quilt, the kind that feels like a warm hug from someone you've known forever. A lantern glows on my desk, casting a golden pool over an open journal, its pages worn from years of scribbling dreams and stories. The air smells of damp earth and cedar, carried in from the storm outside. My coffee mug sits nearby, steam curling up like a whisper, blending with the patter of raindrops. It's the kind of night that makes you want to curl up, to let your mind wander to far-off places, to stories that feel like they've always been a part of you. And tonight, I want to share one with you, a true story, one that's lived in my heart since I first heard it whispered in a quiet cafe in Istanbul, back in 2021. It's about a wanderer named Ibn Battuta, a man who chased the edges of the world and found something timeless, something that might just change how you see everything. If you want to find peace in this gentle journey through distant lands, I'd be truly thankful for a soft like and a subscribe to catch our next soothing tale. Picture this, it's 1325, and the world feels vast, untamed, mysterious. The air is thick with the scent of spices, saffron, cinnamon, cloves carried on the breeze from bustling markets. Ibn Battuta, a young man from Tangier, Morocco, stands at the edge of his hometown, his heart pounding with a restless pull. He's 21, with dark eyes that seem to hold the weight of 1,000 questions. He's not just any traveler. He's a scholar, a seeker, driven by a need to understand the world beyond the horizon. The Silk Road, that ancient web of paths stretching from China to the Mediterranean, calls to him like a siren. But there's something else, a rumor, a whisper of a hidden manuscript, said to hold secrets about time itself, written by a forgotten sage in Damascus. It's not just a map or a treasure, it's a puzzle, a way of seeing the world that could unravel reality's deepest illusions. Could you imagine leaving everything behind for a whisper like that? Just stepping into the unknown, with nothing but a satchel and a burning curiosity. Ibn Battuta sets out, his sandals kicking up dust, on the road to Mecca. It's not just a pilgrimage. It's the beginning of a journey that will span decades, continents, and truths he can't yet fathom. The rain outside my window picks up, a soft drumming that mirrors the rhythm of his steps. I can almost see him now, his cloak billowing in, the desert wind, the stars above, sharp and endless. He travels light, a journal, a few coins, a small dagger tucked into his belt. The road is dangerous, lined with bandits and uncertainty. But there's a fire in him, a quiet determination that makes you wonder, what drives someone to keep going when the path ahead is so unclear? He reaches Cairo, a city alive with voices. The markets hum with merchants shouting in Arabic, Persian, and tongues he doesn't yet know. The air smells of roasted lamb and fresh mint, and the Nile glitters under the sun like a ribbon of liquid silver. Ibn Battuta wanders through the chaos, his eyes wide, taking it all in. He's not just seeing a city. He's feeling time itself, layered in the ancient stones of the pyramids nearby, in the stories of traders who've crossed deserts and mountains. He hears talk of the manuscript again, this time from an old bookseller with a crooked smile. It's in Damascus, the man says, his voice low, but it's not for the faint of heart. It speaks of time not as a line, but as a circle, a loop that binds us all. Ibn Battuta's heart skips. A circle. What does that even mean? Have you ever felt like time isn't what it seems? Like maybe it's not just ticking forward, but curling around us, holding us in its embrace. He presses on, crossing the Sinai Peninsula, where the sand burns his feet and the nights are so cold his breath hangs in the air. He joins a caravan, a group of travelers bound for Jerusalem. The road is long, and the stories they share under the stars are longer. One night, around a crackling fire, a grizzled merchant leans close and tells him about the manuscript's origins. It was written by a scholar named Al-Kindi, centuries ago, a man who believed time wasn't just hours or days, but a tapestry woven by our choices, our journeys. Find it, the merchant says, his eyes glinting, and you'll see the world as it truly is. Ibn Battuta nods, but there's a knot in his chest. What if this manuscript is more than he can handle? What if it changes everything he believes? Jerusalem greets him with golden light spilling over its ancient walls. The city feels alive, its streets echoing with prayers and footsteps. He visits the Dome of the Rock, its mosaic tiles shimmering like a dream. He kneels, prays, and feels the weight of history pressing down. It's here, in a quiet moment, that he meets a scribe named Yusuf, a thin man with ink-stained fingers and a nervous habit of glancing over his shoulder. Yusuf knows of the manuscript. It's real, he whispers, but it's guarded. In Damascus, there's a library, hidden beneath a mosque. Only those who ask the right questions can enter. Ibn Battuta feels a chill. The right questions? What could they be? He's not just chasing a book now. He's chasing a truth that feels bigger than himself. Can you imagine that feeling? Knowing you're on the edge of something that could rewrite everything you thought you knew. The journey to Damascus is grueling. Sandstorms blur the horizon, and water is scarce. Ibn Battuta's caravan moves slowly, the camels grunting under their loads. He writes in his journal by firelight, his words shaky from exhaustion. Time feels different here. It stretches, bends, like the dunes under the wind. I pause, looking at the rain streaking down my window. His words, written centuries ago, feel so close, like he's sitting here with me, sharing this story. Have you ever felt time slip like that? When a moment feels like it holds a lifetime, or a lifetime feels like a single breath. Damascus appears like a mirage, its minarets piercing the sky. The Umayyad Mosque looms grand, its courtyard bustling with pilgrims and scholars. Ibn Battuta feels small, but his heart is racing. He finds the library, tucked in a shadowed corner of the mosque, its entrance unmarked except for a faint carving of a sundial. The keeper, an old woman with eyes like polished obsidian, studies him. "Why do you seek it?" she asks. He hesitates. "To understand time," he says finally, "to know what lies beyond the illusion." She nods, but her smile is cryptic. "Then ask yourself," she says, "what is time to a wanderer?" He's stumped. The question feels like a riddle, one he's not ready to answer. She hands him a key, small and bronze, and points to a door half hidden in the wall. "Tomorrow," she says. "Come back tomorrow." That night, he can't sleep. The air in Damascus is heavy with jasmine and dust, and the call to prayer weaves through his thoughts. He sits by a fountain, the water's ripple catching the moonlight. His journal lies open, but his pen hovers. What is time to a wanderer? Is it the miles he's walked, the faces he's seen, or is it something deeper, something he's only beginning to glimpse? He thinks of home, of Tangier's salty air, of his mother's voice calling him to dinner. He thinks of the roads ahead, stretching to India, China, places he can't yet imagine. The key in his pocket feels heavy, like it holds more than just a door's secret. I lean back in my chair, the quilt slipping slightly. The rain outside is softer now, a gentle lullaby. I wonder what I'd do with a key like that. Would you open the door, or would you wait, afraid of what you might find? The next morning, Ibn Battuta returns to the library. The old woman is gone, but the door is there, its wood worn smooth by time. He fits the key into the lock, his hands trembling. The door creaks open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. Dust motes dance in a sliver of light. He takes a breath, his heart loud in his chest. The manuscript is close, he can feel it. But what will it show him? Will it be a map, a poem, a truth he's not ready to face? He steps forward, the stairs, groaning under his weight. The door swings shut behind him, and the world above goes silent. Only his heartbeat and the distant drip of water remain. What lies below? What secret is waiting in the shadows? The rain outside my window has settled into a steady hum, like a song that's been playing forever. I'm still here, tucked under my quilt, the lantern's glow flickering across my journal. The coffee's gone cold, but the scent lingers, mixing with the earthy dampness seeping through the cracked window. It's the kind of night where the world feels soft, like you could slip into a story and never want to leave. Ibn Battuta's story has me hooked, his footsteps echoing in my mind as he descends that dark staircase in Damascus. I can almost feel the cool stone under his sandals, the weight of the key in his pocket. What's waiting for him down there? What secret is about to unfold? I lean closer to the journal, as if it holds the answers, and let the story carry me back to 1325, to a wanderer chasing time itself. The staircase spirals deeper, each step creaking under Ibn Battuta's weight. The air grows thick, smelling of old parchment and wax. His lantern casts jagged shadows on the walls, and the drip of water echoes somewhere below, steady as a heartbeat. He's alone, but it doesn't feel that way. The darkness seems to watch him, whispering questions he can't quite hear. His fingers brush the wall, rough and cool, grounding him as his mind races. What is time to a wanderer? The old woman's riddle lingers, heavy as the key. He thinks of the miles behind him, Cairo's bustling markets, Jerusalem's golden light, and the miles ahead, stretching to places he's only heard in rumors. India's rivers, China's silk-draped cities. Is time the road itself, or the stories it holds? He shakes his head, focusing on the steps, one foot in front of the other. That's all he can do for now. The staircase ends at a low wooden door, its surface carved with swirling patterns that look like waves or maybe stars. He hesitates, his breath catching. The key fits perfectly, the lock clicking open with a sound that feels too loud in the silence. The door swings inward, revealing a small chamber lit by a single oil lamp. Shelves line the walls, stuffed with scrolls and books, their edges frayed by centuries. In the center, on a stone table, lies a single manuscript, its leather cover, worn but intact. Ibn Battuta's heart pounds. This is it, the manuscript of Al-Kindi, the one they say unravels time's illusion. He steps closer, his fingers trembling as he lifts the cover. The pages are delicate, inked in Arabic script that flows like a river. He reads the first line. Time is not a river, but a mirror. It reflects what we carry, not what we chase. He pauses, his breath shallow. A mirror. What does that mean? Have you ever looked at your life and wondered what it's reflecting back at you? What truths you're carrying without even knowing? He sits, the stone cold beneath him, and reads. On Al-Kindi's words are dense, weaving philosophy with astronomy, poetry with mathematics. Time, he writes, is not a straight path, but a cycle, a rhythm that binds every journey, every soul. Ibn Battuta thinks of his travels, the faces of merchants, the laughter of children in Cairo's streets, the quiet prayers in Jerusalem. Each moment feels separate, yet here, in this dim chamber, they blur together, like threads in a tapestry. He turns the pages, losing himself in the words. Hours pass, or maybe minutes, he can't tell. The lamp flickers, casting shadows that dance like memories. One passage stops him cold. To wander is to see time's illusion. The world changes, but the heart's journey is eternal. His eyes sting. He thinks of home, of Tangier's salty breeze, of his mother's voice. Has he been chasing time, or has it been chasing him? A soft scrape snaps him back. He glances up, his heart lurching. The door is still closed, but the air feels different, heavier. He stands, clutching the manuscript. Is someone there? He calls out, his voice echoing in the chamber. No answer. Only the drip of water, now louder, faster. He tucks the manuscript into his satchel, his hand shaking. He needs to leave, to breathe open air, to think. The staircase feels longer going. up each step heavier than the last. When he emerges into the mosque, the morning light is blinding, the courtyard alive with voices. The old woman is gone, the library door locked as if it was never opened. He clutches the satchel, the manuscripts. Weight grounding him. What has he found? Not just a book, but a question that won't let go. What is he really searching for? He leaves Damascus, the manuscript hidden in his satchel, and joins a caravan bound for Baghdad. The road is dusty, the sun relentless, but the words he read keep circling in his mind. Time is a mirror. He watches the horizon, where the desert meets the sky, and wonders if he's seeing the world, or just himself reflected back. The caravan moves slowly, camels swaying, their bells jingling like a lullaby. At night, under a blanket of stars, he writes in his journal, "The road feels endless, but maybe that's the point. Maybe time isn't about arriving, it's about moving." I pause, my pen hovering over my own journal. The rain outside is softer now, a gentle patter that feels like it's washing the world clean. Have you ever felt like that? Like the journey itself is the answer, not the place you're headed. Baghdad is a marvel, its streets alive with scholars, poets, and traders. The Tigris River glitters, its banks lined with palm trees, swaying in the breeze. Ibn Battuta finds a quiet corner in a tea house, the air thick with the scent of cardamom and rosewater. He opens the manuscript again, tracing Al-Kindi's words. One line haunts him: "The wanderer who seeks time finds only himself." He sips his tea, the steam warming his face, and thinks of the years ahead. He'll travel to India, to the Maldives, to China, each step shaping him, each place a mirror, reflecting a piece of his soul. But there's something else, a feeling he can't shake. The manuscript isn't just a book. It's a challenge, a call to see the world differently. He wonders if he's ready. Are any of us ready to face what our journeys reveal? To look into time's mirror and see, not just where we've been, but who we are. Years pass, and Ibn Battuta's travels stretch across continents. He sees India's monsoons, where rain falls like a curtain, and China's mountains, where mist clings like a dream. He sails seas that churn with storms, walks roads that wind through jungles. Everywhere he goes, he carries the manuscript, its words a quiet companion. In Delhi, the Sultan asks him to serve as a judge, but he declines, his heart still restless. In the Maldives, he marries, but the sea calls him back. Time, he realizes, isn't just a cycle, it's a rhythm, like the rain tapping my window now, steady and endless. He writes of markets where silk shimmers, of mosques where prayers echo, of people whose eyes hold stories as vast as his own. And through it all, Al-Kindi's words linger. The heart's journey is eternal. Back in my bedroom, the lantern's light is fading, the rain, a soft whisper. I close my journal, my fingers tracing its worn cover. Ibn Battuta's story doesn't end with a grand revelation, but with a quiet truth. He returned to Morocco in 1349, his hair gray, his eyes full of the world. He dictated his travels to a scholar, leaving behind a book thriller that still speaks to us today. But the manuscript, the one that promised to unravel time's illusion, he never spoke of it. Maybe he kept it secret, or maybe he realized its truth was too big for words. Time, he learned, isn't something you chase or hold, it's something you live, moment by moment, step by step. I look out at the rain, its drops catching the lantern's glow like tiny stars. Maybe that's the secret. To wander is to live, to carry each moment like a treasure, knowing the journey never truly ends. His story lives on, not just in books, but in every heart that dreams of the horizon. Every wanderer who steps into the unknown, chasing a truth they can't yet name. I pull my quilt tighter, the rain lulling me toward sleep. What's your journey teaching you? What mirrors are you ready to face? If you're still with us, let us know in the comments where you're wandering from and what time it is. Dream gently.